plant lovers.
Hi, I'm Krista from Plant Lux. This is Whiskey and
Taylor.
All right, we are here today for you to talk about plants. I'm excited. Hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and notification button to be informed when we post new videos. So today we have a fun one in store, and we are talking about our top favorite plants. Now, these plants were chosen based on physical appearance as well as ease of care. And anything else?
No, we just chose plants out of our own specific collections. Even though we live in the same house, we have separate plants that we each acquire. Dogtailcactus.
Number one, Taylor's choice. This is Taylor's. All right.
I chose this one because it's so funky looking. And I just love how it's just like wild. It just looks wild. It just goes everywhere. It's not like uniform.
Yeah.
And this pot goes perfect. It looks like hair.
Love the pot.
But yeah, this one's super easy. So easy to propagate. In fact, when I picked this up earlier, pieces of it fell off and I just stuck them back in the soil. And they're going to grow there. And this is my mom's.
So this plant came from
this
this giant one. What window do you have yours in?
Northwest.
Yeah.
Northwest.
This isn't a south-facing window, which is why it's hairier. But this is a propagation of this, and this mama has produced lots of babies. How many did you start with?
I started with like literally 4, like they're probably like an inch long. 4 little like pieces of it that were like this big, inch. That was it.
Like,
and it's only been a year. And this is what it turned into.
Like these pups on the end here?
Yeah, it was like 4 of those little, and it turned into this. Like, I did.
Oh look, you have one hanging here actually.
Yeah, I know. I have to stick that in there too.
And all you do is just kind of whoop, bam. Yeah, these are really cool plants. I did feel the spikes that time. Yours is really spiky.
Yeah, I think it might just be the lighting, I guess.
These are so cool, and I love that like you have it in like a face pot because it looks like a crazy hair, kind of Medusa-y.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So dogtailcactus
Number 1
is her number one plant. Is incredible. This is a Hoya crimson queen.
The thing has gotten massive.
It's so beautiful, honestly. I just think it is worthy of the number 1 spot. All right, so this one here is just an absolutely easy care plant. I have this in a southeast facing window, I believe. Our house is kind of slanted, but it definitely receives some good sunlight. And it just keeps its white variegation, which is bizarre. Usually the white dies off first, but this one just seems to always have it.
It's gotta be the lighting.
I don't know. But to me, this is just absolutely phenomenal plant. I feel so lucky.
I need to put mine next to yours.
I just feel so
huge.
lucky to have it. I mean, look how big these leaves are. They covered my, and I have big hands for a woman.
I have smaller ones. It's as big as my hand, pretty much.
I know. Look at me. Let me see your hand. Yeah, my hands are big. Like I have giant man hands.
Put it next to mine.
I know. It's true. I have big man hands. Okay. So this is my choice. Hoya Crimson Queen. And she's a queen, I tell you.
Fun fact. I found this at a Lowe's. And I brought it home and my mom's like, what?
I was so jealous. She was like, what?
This is like back when you couldn't find these anywhere for like less than like a basket like this was probably like $80 plus $100,
maybe more. Yeah.
and I found it for at Lowe's for like $12, and my mom's like,
wait,
what?
hold on, I'll tell you how much. $15.98 at Lowe's. So that was like one of the best finds that we've ever had at Lowe's.
I've never seen one there since. So.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're lucky if we find anything at Lowe's.
Yeah.
But this is the propagation from the mama plants. And Taylor, what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it was probably
like
about
this big.
maybe the tip of this.
Yeah.
It was a tiny propagation and I neglected it terribly. It would probably be a lot bigger if I took better care of it.
They're slow growers, but
I just stuck it on a shelf and I kept forgetting about it, but now I'm very aware of it. I put it in a place where I wouldn't forget about it. So now it's doing very well. And this one's, even though this is like the same as my other Hoya, like compacta, this one has bigger leaves. It's bizarre.
Is the Hoya Carnosa compacta or Hoya rope?
Hindu rope.
Hindu rope. To be honest, when I first got this plant, I struggled with it. It's lost a lot of legs or ropes in the process, but they're all growing back because I finally understand the care of it. And pretty much you just set it and forget it.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
And you have to have it in a good window. I don't think I used to give it enough light.
So, okay. And you can't say this isn't one of your favorites, but I picked this for me because the Scindapsus pictus exotica is a plant that I could literally just look at and just sit there and just drink tea and just look at it forever. Like,
this is one of my favorites in my collection too.
Like, it just has these amazing leaves that are just so beautiful.
And they stay like big, even when it starts trailing down most of the time.
It's just, there's so much to look at here. I mean, they're so pretty. So I've propagated this, and you've also propagated this for the plant shop many, many a time. Otherwise, it would be very long and leggy, but we keep chopping it.
That's why it's so bushy, but it's pretty.
Yeah, it is really pretty, and I love it so much. This is one of a few that we have in our collection. I have another big giant mama plant, but it's just, the leaves are the same, but they're just a little different. I don't know. They're the same, genus and species and cultivar, but
they all started in 5-inch pots when we got them.
Oh, they were so tiny. Yeah.
From Mary.
Yeah, because we put this in a pot that I bought from Walmart, I think, or Lowe's, one of these guys, and I potted it up.
Mine's still in 6-inch, but it's just as big.
Yeah, and it's just, they're fun. They're just so beautiful. I don't know. I highly recommend this plant if you don't have one. You should. They're so easy to care for. Oh, and we forgot to mention how easy care the dogtail. Super easy care. Set it and forget it. Every plant we've talked about so far is basically set it.
This is a newer addition to our collection. We have other ones, but one of them was too heavy to bring over here.
Well, I put like 3 plants that I purchased, and I know I've said this in another video. We are Plant House supporters. We love Plant House. It used to be called Plant Bar. We support them a lot. They've really buckled down on their, allowing customers to purchase more than one plant, I think, which is, I totally understand.
Because they want to spread the love.
Yeah, they want to spread the love, and when this is before they buckled down, but we bought 4 of these from them, because we wanted to show our love and support, and I put 3 in one pot, and she put this one. This is just one of the plants.
Just so pretty. Like, I just love the texture. I love the dark, deep green. Like, this is probably one of my favorite colors in general, minus plants. Just like that deep green, like almost like bluish green.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, it's so unique. Like, compared to most finding plants, it's just got like those deep ridges. I don't know, it's just cool. I just love this plant.
It's really pretty.
And it's not that hard to take care of. You just water it once a week.
It's beautiful.
That's it.
Yeah, it is really pretty.
It does get like kind of leggy, but this looks good to me. I mean, it does space.
She likes legs.
I like dangling, spilling over like a shelf.
Yeah, you like your leg.
I just like trailing plants. That's my favorite type of plant. All right, well, that's Monstera Peru.
We love you, Monstera Peru. My turn.
Yes.
You're probably not surprised that this is one of my favorites, and Taylor bought this for me for my birthday a few years ago.
No, last year.
Was it last year? Was it last year?
Yes. That's when I did the setup. That was last year.
So pretty.
Exactly 1 year ago, basically.
Yeah. She brought this in, and I was like, oh my God, what is that?
Also from Plant House.
Yeah, like we love Plant House. And this thing was just calling her name, I guess, and calling my name from afar, because one of my favorite plants is this Aglaonema. And I've looked it up to try and figure out the hybrid variety. And what I've come up with is there's a couple of different names. Some of them call this the Mayana, I think, pink Mayana. And another one was this is just an absolutely amazing cultivar. And they're really the almost white light pink stems make it so unique and super awesome. And I mean, as far as Aglaonema care, ags are so easy to take care of, but you really, when you have a big one like this, you have to keep your eye on the watering once a week, once every 10 days. Can't go longer than that because leaves will start dropping. Yeah. And I have noticed that on this Aglaonema. And yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about it, and I love it.
This is like my favorite leaf for you.
I know, look at this leaf. Show.
Ugh, I'm drying.
Beautiful. So, you know, with ags, you can tell too because their leaves do get droopy, and you can kind of see these ones are. So already I can tell that this baby needs watered. Mm-hmm. It's only been a week. It uses, okay, so this is in a south-facing window, so it's going to use more water. So it needs watering more regularly. So anyway, I love this plant. It's one of my favorites.
Anyways, this is maranta. It's lemon lime maranta.
Beautiful.
This has always been one of my favorites ever since I started owning plants. This has like been one of my favorites. I've killed some. Mine don't look that great. This is the newest one to our collection that still looks good.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can keep it this way because it's just it's one of my favorites for the foliage.
I love the foliage, but I swear, they are, you know, they're supposed to be easy, but they're not because, like, they require a lot of water.
This one looks good still.
Yeah, it does. But I think for this one, you need to, like, put the water in the can and, like, let it set overnight, like that type of situation, and then just water it through.
I had one that looked awesome for 2 years. I just had to get back to that mindset. And I think it was just because I didn't really know how to take care of plants. I was either watering it more than you normally would, or I was letting it dry out more than I do now. So I think I'm overthinking the care of this plant, but it looks good so far. Hopefully it stays this way, because the foliage is just my favorite.
Here we have a Hoya publicalis, and this guy has some really awesome foliage. One of my favorites. And I absolutely love this plant, and this is actually one of Taylor's choices too, but I vetoed her and I got this one. Sorry. No, but we both love this plant. And one of the main reasons I love this plant, number one, easy care, super rewarding, awesome foliage that grows like prolifically, like even with a propagation. So if you have this plant and you cut off a part of it and stick it in soil or water or however you do it spec, you know, you're going to reap the rewards, and it grows pretty fast when it's in loose soil. And we've done it in the plant shop, and it's just been so freaking rewarding. We have grown, I would say, at least 10 of these to a full mature plant so quickly.
I love this plant because it's as easy to take care of as a pothos.
It has so much more ability to retain water inside the foliage because it's wax leaves, so it like retains more moisture. I don't know.
But you know, you think Hoya like harder. This is so easy.
So good. It's just, I can't say enough about this plant. I love it so much. And I love the variegation. It's almost like someone took a paintbrush and they painted the leaves. Oh, I just have to show a close up of that. Like, look at those leaves. They're amazing. Oh, anyway, I can't say enough about it. I love all of my Hoya, and if I could do just like, oh, these are all my favorite plants, but I mean, I guess I'm kind of biased. I have so many favorite plants, but Hoya are at the top of my list.
But beautiful. When I had it in more light at my old apartment, it was so like full. Now it's more scraggly, and it's still beautiful, and I still love it. But when I had it in my apartment in all of that light,
I understand.
It was like so lush.
Yeah, it'll get that way again.
Yeah, we just need spring and summer back.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Anyways,
it's beautiful.
It's my favorite plant, and we took it took us forever to get our hands on Philodendron micans.
Oh my god. It was like when we finally found a Philodendron micans, it was like, whoa!
Yeah.
It was a crazy moment.
I remember we were looking around the store and we'd already passed this section. And then I like walk over and I was like, oh my god, Mom, look what they have.
You're not kidding.
And I was like, we were like, oh. Yeah.
And they were literally like this long. And that was it. There's like one stem.
This was 2 years ago.
1 year ago. It was more than it was at the beginning of the pandemic.
Okay, so
and we weren't
2 years.
We weren't supposed to be out doing anything, but oops. We went to the plant store.
Anyways, she has one this size. Hers is actually bigger than mine now, and then I have one this size from a.
Technically, yours is bigger than mine. Mine's in a 6-inch pot.
But yours is longer. And fuller. So my mom, we both had like basically the same size plant to start with, and then I moved to Richmond in my apartment, and my apartment had these giant, humongous windows.
Beautiful. South facing?
I think
West?
it was west.
West facing. Okay.
But I didn't get like super direct light, but it was just like the perfect plant environment. They were like almost like greenhouse windows. They're huge, the whole size of the wall. Anyways, I brought mine there, and mine just like shot out, and it was like all of a sudden
huge,
like this long.
It made mine look.
And I sent a picture to my mom, and she was like, "What are you doing? Like mine doesn't look like that. Hers is like half the size of mine."
It was. It really.
But now yours is longer than mine. It's crazy. But anyways.
Well, it's because I have it in the stunted growth window, and now yours is there.
But I brought mine home for when I moved back recently, and my mom was like propagating for the plant store. And she thought this one was hers, and she propagated it
by accident. And
I was
she was like, "You did it on purpose."
I was very upset. I was like, "You did it on purpose."
Plant drama.
Because you.
She was so mad at me.
Yours was bigger than mine, and I was like, she did it because she
was so resentful
better.
to me for like 3 days. She's like, "Who wouldn't talk to me?"
Because I would barely even propagate this for myself, and I was just like.
She compared it to cutting the Thai constellation.
Yeah.
Okay, she's like, I would never cut your Thai constellation. Why did you cut my micans?
Because it's my favorite. It might be a more common plant than that, but to me, it holds the same value as the Thai constellation.
And I thoroughly apologize.
But since then, I have cut mine for the plant store. I'm less attached now, but I was just
So hers, that's a 10-inch pot. I don't think it's an 8-inch pot.
Yes, but yours is...
So mine's a tiny, tiny little pot, like a 6-inch pot, but the leaves bush out. And yes, it has some length, but yours is much larger. It's just that we need to put some plugs in there.
Yeah, it's getting scraggly up top.
So that's the cure for plant baldness, in case you didn't know. You just put some plugs in there.
Maybe we'll do a video on that.
We should. Let's do it. But the only reason mine has growth on the top is because I kept chopping the bottom, and mine was tiny forever. So just so you know. But yeah, these are our favorite, like, philodendrons, I feel like. Mine does not look as good as yours, honestly.
I think trailing philodendrons are my favorite.
So...
Shouldn't be mine.
This is actually Taylor's plant. Oh, I just spit. So this Cebu epipremnum is one of my favorite plants. And I'm not going to say it's because it's the plant. It's because it's so big, long, and leggy. Yeah. I love the look of the blue leaves, and I love the long legginess. And I love the tiny ones I have too, but this one's my favorite because it's so bushy. And this is sort of like the Jurassic version of all the pothos. Like the juvenile stage before it like went off into all those different cultivars. But the blueness of the leaves to me is just so unique and interesting, and I just love this plant so much, and it is a prolific grower. You cut one of these and you can make so many. So Cebu epipremnum, Taylor's probably gonna steal this plant when she leaves, and I'm not looking. Am I right or am I wrong?
Maybe I'm gonna run it, yeah.
I'm saying. She's my delivery lady. Well, anyway, these are very hard to choose, honestly, due to our love of all plants.
These, for me at least, are
they get their own way.
At this moment in time, these are my favorites.
Yeah.
doesn't mean to say it's going to change next week or tomorrow.
It
But
probably will. for me.
tonight, these are my favorites.
Like my Thai constellation kicked out a weird little tiny little offshoot, which I'm totally curious about. But yeah, so it changes all the time for us. But anyway, the bottom line is here are our most recent favorites. And we are so happy that you joined us today in this video, and we hope that you, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit that notification button to be informed when we post new videos. And also follow Taylor on Instagram at TayTayWatsonDove.
I don't really post plant content, but you can follow me. Maybe I'll start.
Hey, you never know. Anyway, what else?